Girl Gang. Happy Friday!
Hey guys.
Hey Amber.
They saw my tum-tum. The moon landing didn't happen.
Are you actually gonna wear that?
Sorry, but like, ew.
Did she spray Pam on the food?
That ass, though.
You're lolcows. That's what you guys do.
A while ago, we made up this game called, like, the Choosey game.
Hey folks, what's good? I'm Deets, I'm pensive, and today I have a quick video with some food for thought, shall we say. Now, before we get going, I do want to remind you that I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just someone who's had experience with narcissists and enjoys pondering human behavior. Sometimes. In small doses, at least. With Beck being back on YouTube, I've really been enjoying watching their videos, and not just the reaction videos that, offer up their side of the story from their time with Amber. I've even been watching the ghost stories and live streams. I had some pretty high hopes for Beck's future on this platform, as well as our overall progress in healing after Amberlynn. If you'd like to see the video where I discuss where I'm coming from on that, I'll add a link to it in the description below. But today there's something very specific that I want to discuss with you. In Beck's most recent reaction video, the one where they go through the questions from Jordy and his community, Beck spoke about something that it really grabbed my attention. The question that prompted the story was about how Amber would spend her time during that period in her life. When she was immobile, or at least close to it.
So the first question is from someone named Raven Elise, and I actually wonder this as well. Amberlynn is immobile, or close to immobile, during the time that you spent with her during your season. Raven and I would like to know, what does Amberlynn do with all of her time?
Beck mentioned a few other pastimes, but then went on to describe a game that Amber forced Beck to play, called Choosey.
One thing that took up a lot of time was this game that she would force me to play called Choosey.
And yes, Beck used the word forced.
She would take a bunch of thousands of stickers, she bought bulk stickers, and had me pick between them all the way down until I picked one single sticker to be the best sticker of all. And she made me do this with buttons and earrings, calendar pages. She would buy a bunch of small calendars and tear the pages out and then have me pick between the pictures down to which one I liked the most. And Croc Charms. She would make me play Choosey between Croc Charms. And she didn't even own a pair of Crocs. She just had thousands of Croc Charms for no reason.
As I listened to Beck's description of this game, I realized it wasn't the first time I'd heard about it. I have been going through the Crystal era recently, and it made me think of a scene from pretty early on.
The Choosey game is where, if you have a lot of one item, you gather it up and you have to choose your favorite. But how you do so is you pick two and then you have to choose your favorite out of the two. And then you save the favorite and throw away the least favorite. And then you continue going and going and going until they're all gone. And then all the ones you chose the first round go into the second round. And it's continuous. And then at the end you have a favorite of whatever. So we're about to do it with my stud earrings.
And when I first saw that scene, it made me really uncomfortable. I felt like such a waste of time. Such a weird thing to do. And Amber wasn't just wasting her own time with this ridiculous game. She was pulling Crystal into the nonsense as well.
Okay, so without really being biased, I'm going to choose two earrings. And now she has to look at these two and decide which one she likes more.
She would take a bunch of thousands of stickers, she bought bulk stickers, and had me pick between them all the way down until I picked one single sticker to be the best sticker of all.
Crystal, do that real quick. So she's choosing which one she likes more. I guess the ones you like more you can put right here. And then the ones that are no's, she's gonna put in a different pile.
And she made me do this with buttons and earrings, calendar pages. She would buy a bunch of small calendars and tear the pages out and then have me pick between the pictures down to which one I liked the most. And Croc charms. She would make me play Choosey between Croc charms. And she didn't even own a pair of Crocs. She just had thousands of Croc charms for no reason. It would take hours and sometimes even days to completely get down to just one.
Okay, so these are the final two that she has out of all these. And now she shall choose her favorite.
Although we couldn't see Crystal's face in this particular scene, you can hear her, and she sounds like she doesn't want to be there. You know, she's disinterested, and she can't even believe that Amber's filming it.
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
This whole time?
Well, kind of.
After hearing how Amber had forced Beck to play this horrible game too, it really got me thinking about the why. Like, why would Amber force her partners to play this game that took up so much time and wasn't actually any fun? Clearly, it had nothing to do with her immobility, because she forced Crystal to play. In that scene, she actually had said she came up with the game a while ago.
A while ago, we made up this game called, like, the Choosey game.
So I'm thinking Casey probably was also forced to play this game. Just a guess. But either way, Amber was mobile back then. Even though she didn't leave the house that often, it wasn't because she couldn't. It was literally hundreds of pounds ago. This was a game that she made up for reasons other than boredom due to immobility. Now, it occurred to me that Amberlynn was calling this a game in order to make it seem like it was fun, when in reality, it was just another way for her to control and isolate her partners. I did a little research on how narcissists do exactly that. And here's a clip from a mental health coach who offers help in recovering from relationships with narcissists.
And let's talk about why toxic people, especially people high on the scale of NPD, why would they want to isolate you? Well, if they don't isolate you, then as they're trying to change you, because that's what's happening, they're trying to change your reality, they're trying to change your perceptions, they're even trying to change your beliefs about yourself and about what's happening in the relationship. As they're trying to do that, if you have contact with healthy people, with people that are going to spot these toxic behaviors, with people that are going to notice that you are changing, they're going to start seeing changes in your personality. Like maybe you shut down now all the time. Maybe the life and the shine and the spark that you always had is now gone. It's almost like there's a switch off. They're going to notice it and bring it to your attention. They're kind of like the dictatorships that only allow one news channel in the whole country, and that news channel is only broadcasting what that government wants the people to think is truth. You're only being fed the reality of the toxic person. So everything that's happening in your world begins to be defined through the lens of the broken prism of the narcissist.
Honestly, I think it's very possible that Choosey is in fact one of Amber's tools for controlling her partners, by isolating them for hours upon hours. It's the same reason that she'd make Beck pick fake lint off of her back for hours.
And another thing that would take up a lot of time is she would set a timer for 45 minutes to an hour usually. And she would have me sit behind her and pretend to pick lint off of her back because she liked the way it felt and sounded because of ASMR. And she would have me do this for so long that my arms and stuff would hurt. And whenever I would want to stop, she would sigh and just be like, well, I'm going to pause the timer. So she would pause the timer for my little break. And then I'd have to immediately go back to it. And she would unpause the timer again. Sometimes I would catch her not unpausing the timer because she would want me to do it for longer.
The longer they spend with people who will recognize Amber's toxic behavior, the more likely they're going to realize that they're being controlled. And Amber didn't want that. Anyway, just as my ADHD mind was about to move on to its next fleeting thought, I saw this post on Instagram from Girl Hub. Now, stay with me. It is a screenshot of a subreddit about a comment on one of the Angles videos on YouTube posted to Instagram. Anyway, let's take a look at it because it sure is interesting. Here's what it says. The Choosey game is very reminiscent of the abuse suffered by the son in A Child Called It, where the mom would send him on find the thing searches to separate him from siblings and friends and to keep him working and busy all day. It's an abuse tactic used to isolate and wear down people. You might think, oh, Amber hasn't read that book, but you'd be wrong. She's said multiple times across the channel that it is her favorite book. I don't know. That's where I'm leaving off with this train of thought for now. What do you think? Is Choosey really a narcissist tool used to isolate and control, or is it simply some dumb game made up to pass the time? I don't know. I have my own thoughts, but what are yours? Also, before I go, this was just one question of many that Beck answered for us, so if you haven't seen the full Q&A, I highly suggest you head to their channel and give it a watch. I'll leave the link to it in my description below. It's very enlightening, and Beck is more than generous with their willingness to open up about this really difficult and traumatic time in their life. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Anyways, I know you guys probably thought this was very strange, but figured I'd show you anyways.